third straight loss for the Diamondbacks. Still no Ketel Marte. He's going to be on the shelf for a little bit, although there's no specific timetable as of yet. I imagine we'll get an update of some sort today, because when Torrey spoke pregame with the media, they hadn't received the MRI results on the hamstring of Ketel Marte because it was only 2.5 hours after he went in, but they should have those results today. So maybe a little bit more clearer picture of when the Diamondbacks' best player is coming back.
Well, and in the meantime, other guys got to pick up the slack. And we talked about it earlier. I mean, Gurriel and Suarez and Jake McCarthy. I mean, McCarthy doesn't have a hit yet. And
it's 0 for 22.
0 for 22. Diamondbacks fans are well aware of that.
That's nearly half of Chris Davis. Has the record 0 for 54 to start a year.
So he's not
almost.
Not quite.
Yeah, not quite.
He's inching towards
one
half.
more game.
Gurriel is hitting 167. Suarez is hitting 162. Those guys were 1 for 19 combined against the Nats. They were 0 for 6 last night. So that's 1 for 25 in their last 4. You know, runners in scoring position as a team collectively, they're 4 for 23 as a team. The D-backs are, so they're not getting timely hitting. They're not pitching it all that great, and they're not playing great defense. I mean, you can get by if one of those three are not going well.
Yeah.
When all three of those phases are not performing at a high level, you're going to lose baseball games.
Well, and it's really starting at the start. Starting pitching has been a major disappointment through 11 games, and it's something I check now every day is the starting rotation ERA. And going into this series with Baltimore, it was at 5.96. It went up yesterday. It's now 6.27. Only the St. Louis Cardinals, Cleveland Guardians, and Minnesota Twins starting pitchers have higher ERAs. They're getting off on a bad foot in the first inning of games. Their staff ERA is over 10 in the first inning of games, and even yesterday, first 2 outs Zach Gallen gets the first 2 outs of the game against Gunnar Henderson and Rutschman, and then gives up the home run to O'Hearn. So
yeah.
it kind of sets a tone. No excuse, and what has been semi-consistent with the offensive approach is just these innings upon innings stretches, Tim, where they just can't generate anything. And, one hit from the 4th inning on last night, that's not going to win you many baseball games, especially when you're trying to play from behind.
Well, I talked about what they're doing with runners in scoring position, which goes back to timely hitting, but it's 3 straight games now where they have not had a multi-run inning. Okay, so think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just generating nothing to speak of when it comes to rallies or offense. I mean, they have not had a 2-run inning in 3 straight games.
Yeah,
that's just not good enough. Now, Gallen and Burns have started 5 games. In Burns' first start, they actually did win the game. So in 5 starts by their 2 aces, they are 2-3, which is not good, but it's not horrible. Okay, you expect to win more of those games. I think they will. Didn't expect to drift into mid-April before Corbin Burns got you a win at best, right? Hope that happens this weekend when he takes the mound again. So there's a lot to improve. And they got to start playing cleaner defensively because it's not only leading to more runs on the scoreboard, it's elevating pitch counts. We saw how Zach Gallen, it was all over his face. When they didn't get the inning-ending double play last night, not only did it make it a 5-1 game, ultimately, I think it took a lot out of Gallen emotionally.
Yeah, but I'll bring up a point, too, where, and I was listening to one of the games over the weekend from Washington, and Chris Garagiola brought up the point. It was like the Diamondbacks have not been good. Actually, I think it was in the Yankee series. They've not been good early this season when something does go wrong, a play that's not made or an error, errant throw. They've not been good at buttoning it back up and not letting that, manifest itself into something more.
They're not good at getting that extra out.
And and
they're not good at flushing it.
That
they got to flush.
They need a better plumbing, I think, is what they need. A lot of
flushing.
Because that has popped up in most of their losses. And you mentioned the visible frustration from Zach Gallen. Go back to Sunday start in Washington. Corbin Burns
He's talking to
was
himself.
wearing it. You could hear him talking to himself at certain points of the game. And when not talking to himself, the body language of frustration because he can't rely on his major weapon, that cutter, when it's not working. What do you do? And he was talking to himself. So I think this team is putting pressure on itself early. And that in itself is not a bad thing. This is the toughest division in baseball. It's a pressure-packed environment. But it's how you respond to that self-inflicted pressure, and they're not responding to it very well right now.
I get it, and a lot of coaches will tell you, we welcome adversity because with adversity comes opportunity. But at the same time, when the adversity, as you mentioned, is self-inflicted, you don't like that either.
Yeah.
And that'll drive a coach or a manager nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's once in a while, fine, so be it. It's sports. You're going to make mistakes. But when we do this game after game after game, enough, fellas. Let's not continue to shoot ourselves in the foot.
And Jake McCarthy's stat line so far has come up already. And this is one of the things that makes baseball great, in a way, is the cruelty of it. There was a time last summer where Jake McCarthy was arguably the hottest hitter in baseball. Nobody could get him out for a stretch. He started the season 0 for 22. And that, when you add the psychology of a slump like that, a start like that, I can't even imagine the pressure he's putting on himself.
And look, we're in retrospect now, it's lucky they didn't trade one of those outfielders like they talked about if they were stuck with only McCarthy and he had to play every day or mostly every day.
Well, if he was playing every day, would he still be 0 for 22?
No, he'd be 0 for 40.
It could be.
I mean, look, they had 5 hits last night. Come on, this is a team effort, right?
Yes.
Five hits.
Yes. Not one finger to point, just like the Suns.
Come on, do better.
It could be way worse. The Braves are 1-8, and they had a World Series expectations.
Yeah, they're going to be in the playoffs. Don't worry about it. D-backs and the Orioles continue their series. 6:40 first pitch on ESPN 620 tonight.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.